Snapchat dog filters live from Ibiza. Breakfast on the beach, that means.
Don't play with her, don't be dishonest. Ay. Still not understanding this logic. Hey, I'm back and I'm better. I want you bad as ever. Don't let me just let up. I wanna give you better. Baby, it's whatever. Somebody gotta step.
Alright y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are not new, welcome. My name is Amber. You call me Am. I really do not care. For those of you who are not new, y'all, welcome back to the page. Y'all know how this goes. Okay guys, so yeah, this is not a clickbait. Let me just throw that out there. Right now, this is not a clickbait. Okay, real life. I got locked inside of a store while they were closed, and like the police and everything had to go. So yeah, y'all, let's just jump right into the story time. So this happened last winter. Okay, I had got hired at Dick's Sporting Goods, and the job itself, like, it was cool, but it was like really boring. Cause I don't know about y'all, but when I go inside Dick's Sporting Goods, like, I know what I want. I go in and I leave right back out. I was working in apparel, and they didn't really like, or not even in apparel, like in the coat section, and people, like, they weren't really feeling Dick's Sporting Goods prices on winter coats. Because guys, I'm from New York, and y'all know, like, in New York it gets cold, so people was feeling like, why get this North Face for this much when I could go get a name brand coat that keeps me just as warm for this much? So y'all, like, the apparel department was really slow. Me personally, I'm not a real big talker around people who I just don't care for. I'm just leave it at that. And like, my coworkers, like, they were cool or whatever, but y'all know, like, how y'all just get the vibe. You know how y'all just get like a vibe when something is forced. Like, that's how it felt. Like, I was like, me and this other girl, we were like the only two black people working there. So yeah, like, my coworkers, like, even though like they were cool or whatever, like, I just felt like the energy was forced. I just felt like everything was forced, so I just stayed quiet. I wasn't really like a big talker. So one day, I wasn't getting direct deposit. No, it's not one day I wasn't getting direct deposit, but guys, I wasn't getting direct deposit. I was being lazy, I guess, setting it up. I have a checking account, I have a savings account, but yeah, like, I just wasn't getting direct deposit. I don't know why I didn't set it up. I just didn't. So one day, while the store was closing, it was a Friday, everyone was going to get their checks. I didn't know, like, people were like going to get their checks. So like, towards, like, I think like in the middle of the day, I told her, I forgot her name, but I was like, hey, such and such, I didn't get my check yet. So she was like, oh, you could get it at the end of the day, So I'm like, okay, cool. So guys, like, towards the end of the day, like, I don't know if you guys ever work retail or not, but like, like how all the lights go off, and at the end of the night, everyone leaves out. So we're all standing as a group. I'm thinking I'm visible to everyone else. Like, we're all standing as a group. So it hits me like, let me go back and clock out and also get my check. Because, guys, like, towards the end of the day, like, everyone goes to the back, clock out, and then goes back to the front door. And, we usually meet as a group all together, and we all leave out at once. So me, I went back by myself to clock out. Because, like I said, before I left from, like, the group, they they were looking at me, like, we were talking, like, so I'm like, okay, like, they must see me going back to clock out. So y'all probably already know where I'm about to go from here. I went back to clock out, y'all, and also I remember my manager saying that my check was on her desk. So guys, I clocked out and I went to her office, and I was looking around, and I'm like, okay, like, I don't see my check. Like, I'm searching through her desk, I'm looking at everything, I'm finding everything but my name on it. So I'm like, okay, where is my check? Like, this has to be a joke. So right now, I'm probably back there for like 35 minutes, but guys, I'm not really thinking nothing of it. Like, like, that's my money, so, I'm like, okay. But something, like, it finally hits me, like, let me go out or whatever and just tell her, I can't find my check. Guys, I head back out to the floor, right? It's dark. It's quiet, like, lights and like TVs and stuff is on, and the vending machines and everything was still on. So I'm just looking around. I'm like, okay, well, maybe they went to go clean up or something, because I know they just didn't leave me in here by myself. So like, I'm sitting there, and then, like, me being a money hungry person that I am, I go back into her office, y'all. I'm still looking. I'm like, I don't know where they went, but and so it finally hit me, like, yo, like, Amber, you're in the store by yourself. Finally it hits me, I'm like, yo, like, I need to get out of the store. Like, it's just me in here, like, so I'm like, okay, so I'm thinking, guys, I don't know why, guys, I could be like a real airhead sometimes. I'm thinking that I could just slide open the doors, forgetting, you know, if the store is closed, the door is locked. So I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm really locked in here, guys. Like it hit me last minute, and I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm really locked in here, like oh my god. So I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, like, she's like, what? I'm like, I'm locked inside of Dick's Sporting Goods. So she was like, what you talking about? I'm like, Mom, I'm locked inside of Dick's. And she was like, what? Like, guys, I don't know how, but like the only thing she heard was Dick's. Like she didn't hear the rest of the thing. She was like, what you talking about? I'm like, Mom, I'm locked in at work. I'm locked inside of my job. So she like, oh my god, like how you get locked inside of your job? I was like, they left me. Like I was like, I went back to get my check. I came back and they were gone. She like, oh my god, blah blah. You know, try to call your manager. I'm like, Mom, I don't have her phone number. So she was like, okay, we'll call the police. And I'm like, oh god, y'all. And where I was working, it was like the suburbs, and like y'all know, like when y'all hit the suburbs, like it's a little dead. So it's like in one, like you could call one police officer for one thing and like the whole squad show up. And me, I'm not like a chaotic person, so I didn't want to like make a scene. I'm like, shoot, like I gotta get out of here. So y'all, I called 911. And the lady that answered the phone, she's like, you know, blah blah blah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm locked inside of Dick's. And she was like, what? Like what? And I'm like, I'm locked inside of Dick's Sporting Goods, blah blah blah. So she was like, oh my god, how did you get locked inside? I was like, you know, my coworkers, whatever, like they thought I was with them and they left. So she was okay, we're gonna call the police now. For those of you who ever think about breaking into a store or something like that, stores have, well, I don't know about all stores, but Dick's Sporting Goods specifically, like they have monitors. So with me like moving around like throughout the store, I guess like the police was already notified. Like they knew someone was like in the store. So like they were already on their way before like the lady even told them. So when the police, I guess it's like when the police is notified, you know, by the little sentry in the store that someone is in there, they have to contact the manager. So guys, before the police could show up, my manager, she ended up showing up. So her and one of my other coworkers, I don't know why he was with her, but hey, but they ended up showing up or whatever at the same time. And they're like, oh my god, are you all right? Are you all right? And me, like I said before, I know fake vibes, so I just gave her a hug. I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. And then y'all, I just left, like, you know. And then when I was leaving, a whole bunch of police officers was already coming up the street and stuff, and I just left. Like I didn't stay around for small talk, you know. I explained the story the next day what happened, but then I just wanted to get out of there. I'm like, yo, oh yeah, y'all, don't let me not like leave this part out. She did go get my check. Yeah, I told her, I was like, yo, I couldn't find my check, and she was like, oh, it wasn't here. Guys, come to find out, she had to check in the training room, and I'm like, lady, this is not your office. Like what? Stay with the group, okay? Like that's like the only advice I'm gonna give right now. Stay with the group, even if your money is on the line, because hey, I could have came in the next day, had my check or whatever, but me, I was being stubborn, like, yo, I'm staying here, I gotta get my check. Like that was like the only thing on my mind. And y'all, what happened? I ended up getting locked inside of Dick's Sporting Goods. Sad. But yeah, guys, that was my story time about the time I got locked inside of Dick's Sporting Goods. So yeah, guys, if you guys like the story time, do not forget to comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if y'all want to hear any more story times, comment down below, and I'll be back with you soon with another video. So